Charles, hang in.
Bye. Good night.
Oh.
Sorry.
Where the hell was he?
I don't know, Ben. Why don't you ask him? Where the hell were you?
Jojo, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Did you see that? Try 98 minutes of it. Not that I'm counting you, lucky bastard. Don't you ever leave me stranded like that again.
This is no joke. He should have been here.
Oh, Ben, stop acting like he's under house arrest.
I thought he was part of the family. Obviously, I'm mistaken.
Oh, I don't know. You're certainly treating him like he is.
What is that supposed to be?
He's right here, Ben. Talk to him.
He knows how important this was.
All right, tell him.
You tell him.
Damn it, Ben, you are doing it again.
What?
The thing.
What
You always
thing?
talked around the girl. You never talked to her.
What?
You never said a straight thing to her, Ben. From the time she was 9 years old, you made me do it.
That is so unfair.
God forbid she should grow up, and then you might have to, too. I mean, the perfect father as long as she was a kid.
That is so unfair.
Don't you see that you're doing it again?
So unfair, and you know it.
Okay, pal, you really want to get into it? Then you stick around. If not, go walk the dog because I'm mad at you now.
Come on, Nix.
And make it a long walk. Poor guy. With Diana gone, he's got nobody else to catch the blast. Isn't he amazing?
You and Hoffman.
So that wasn't part of the funny part.
No, it certainly
No, that's
wasn't.
not the funny part. The
No.
dog throws up. There's funny parts. Yes, Dustin
Hoffman.
is so great in the movie. He's so sweet. Jake, too. Jake has an impossible part because he's
Jake,
playing
right.
the director, basically.
Right.
The writer-director.
He's playing the man who lost his fiancée.
Yes, and somebody who the whole point is that he's not quite owning his life, so he's a little passive, and to be that charming when you're being passive is really difficult.
Good young actor.
He's a great actor, and talk about somebody that's really brave, and you know, he reminds me of Sean Penn or somebody who really is playing character parts even though he's 21.
Yeah, and even though he could be playing
those boring 3 first name guys that everybody's playing right now. Yeah, no, he's great. And Dustin is so sweet and so funny, because he's kind of, his take on it is to take care of everybody.
Funny. Sweet and funny is your description of Dustin.
So sweet
and funny.
Yeah.
Did you think that at every moment?
Yeah, I did. I mean, that's not what I heard, but before we worked together.
Here's my impression.
Mm-hmm.
You two come at the business different.
Yeah.
He wants it perfect.
Yeah.
He wants to keep trying until it's perfect.
But see, in character, I could say, shut up, let's just do it, because that's my character, so it worked out perfectly. I could say, let's just get on with it.
Dustin, that was very good. It'll never get better.
Stop.
Perfect. Stop.
Stop it. Yes, and it
Would you
worked out
say that?
perfectly. Yeah.
And what would he say?
I'd just say, shut up, let's do it. He'd be okay.
Okay.
He'd be okay. He's fine. He's fine with that. Seems like we've been married forever. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But everybody says that. Yeah, we really seem
to watch the two of you on screen, seems like you've been married forever.
Yeah.
You fed off of your own relationship. He fed off of his own. I mean, it's something like that.
Well, you know, he's mellowed out and calmed down, and he's a family guy.
Mellowed out and calmed down,
and he's a family guy, and he's a very happy family
You see all
guy.
these photographs, you know, in these magazines and newspapers. He's always with his kids.
Right, and I am too. And so we had that was a good place to meet.
Yeah.
And we're both, I was so lucky because on all these films, everybody came prepared, knew their lines. You know, there's a trend in movie making now.
To learn your lines.
To not know your lines. And a lot of people show up and don't know their lines.
And so what do you think when somebody shows up and doesn't know their lines?
What is the point? How can you get anything going when someone is reading a cue card? It's just completely disrespectful and unprofessional.
Come on.
No. I haven't run into it often, but I know that it's out there quite a bit these days. Marlon Brando doesn't know his lines, but that's another whole thing. I think he's just trying to keep himself alert, so he adds the challenge of listening to things in his ear, but I know there are major actors out there, because I know people that have worked with them, and they don't learn their lines.
Well, who are we talking about?
I'm not going to tell you. I can't do that.
Oh, where's all that authenticity?
No. But there's an unwritten law. You don't rat on your other fellow actors, even if they are unprofessional. No, can't do it.
Now, where's Tim these days?
Tim's about to start a movie with Clint Eastwood. Is he
directing this? Or
no, he's Clint Eastwood is directing it with Sean Penn.
Oh my God, this is
with
good.
Kevin Bacon, with Lawrence Fishburne. So it should be a guy's kind of time up in Boston soon. And he's playing hockey and hanging out. No, it's not a sports. It's kind of a whodunit. It's scary. It's a sad, kind of scary film.
Yeah, and I know you don't like to talk about this, but bear with me for a moment.
Okay.
Do you guys spend much time together?
We were in, we did The Guys. Speaking of The Guys, we did the play The Guys.
Yeah,
I first did it, then he did it, then we did it together. Well, we did it in New York, then he did it in LA with Helen Hunt, then he and I did it together. Then, with the whole family, went to Scotland and Ireland, and we just spent the summer. We did it at the Edinburgh Festival and at the Old Abbey in Dublin.
Yeah.
So we definitely saw each other on stage. we were hanging out doing that and looking around.
And at the bars afterwards.
Yeah, and now he'll go up to Boston, but it's not too long, and I'll be holding down the fort and then also visiting our daughter who's in Vancouver doing another film.
Now, what's it like to have a daughter who's out there?
Well, I wish I was there making her a cup of tea right now. I feel a little bad, but I think it's easier for her to be with the other cast members without her mom there the whole time. So I'm going to periodically go up and just make sure she's well taken care of. You know, I say the only thing that really would have frightened me that I wouldn't know how to deal with is a kid who has no passions. A kid that's not interested in anything.
The one thing I love about you, of which there are many, that's why it's passion.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you, at one point, not too long ago, you're getting some award at Premiere Magazine or something like that. And there were a bunch of power mongers, power people in the audience. And you said to them, make just one movie, just one, that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
See, what a great speech.
Because everyone whines and complains about how many roles there are no good roles for women. I say there are no good roles for men either, but, you know, or racist and all these other things. And if you pick up the paper, I mean, all the dramatic stories, they're not all about white heterosexual men of a certain age, you know. They've got everybody in them. And so if people just made a movie, green-lighted a film that they felt told a story that they really cared about, the whole face of Hollywood would change.
Okay, but suppose I come back to you and say, do you have a story that you passionately care about?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of them in development right now.
You do? Your own production company? Or?
Yeah, and then I try to find the people that get it at whatever studios rather than having a deal at a studio. It means I have to have a very little office that I pay for myself, but I find it works better. And it's always very tough to get a good script. You know, we're trying to get a script on the Barbara Ehrenreich book. We're trying to, on Nickeled and Dimed, or Elizabeth Kubler-Ross asked me to do her life. There's a number of things I've got out there in development, and it takes a while before, you know.
Well, which one are you passionate about?
Well, right now I'm passionate about all three of these because I'm trying to give them a shot, you know, to be seen. But I think all of them potentially have a lot, you know.
Is there any downside in the fact that all these movies are coming out at the same time?
Oh my God, I'm sure there is, and we'll wait and see what happens. You know, I didn't have any control over the release plan. You know, mostly the smart movies all aim for the fall because they don't want to be up against the car, what they call the car wreck movies. You know, so they all aim for the fall. So it just ended up, at one point, all three of them were opening on the same day, which seemed a little excessive to me. But I've never been in this position before, so I don't know.
That would just be, I mean, this is like
nuts.
This is a mini festival, a Sarandon festival.
Well, yeah, luckily they're all very different and they don't necessarily have the same demographic. And I can seriously, you know, certainly Igby, which is probably the poorest of all of them, will open very slowly in a few theaters.
The poorest?
Well, in terms of having money.
Yeah. To promote it.
Yeah, and Moonlight Mile is also a kind of meager cousin. Banger Sisters is the most obviously commercial and accessible, I think. You know, it has the widest demographic, but people really respond to all three of them. So if the studios will just please let them stay in the studios, I mean in the theaters long enough for people to find them.
A little word of mouth. All right, let's try to help this. Okay, Igby Goes Down. Here's where you, Mimi Slocum, finds out that her son has flunked out of one more prep school. Roll tape.
Did you enjoy making me look like a fool? Oh, no. You don't know? Poor Mrs. Slocum doesn't have a clue what old Igby is up to. Dithering foolish woman. Did you enjoy that?
Oh, no.
I beg your pardon?
No.
Well, then what are you? A pathological liar?
I don't know.
You don't know? Liar, you liar! How dare you! And where were you when your brother was flunking out of school?
I was in college. Igby is not my fault.
Did you even for a second think about how this reflects upon me?
No.
I am not going to go through this again.
And what are you doing after these films are out and, you know?
I have something coming out on the Sci-Fi Channel, which is like, you know, really a villain. It's like, you know,
this is the
in
thing.
the
This
mirror.
was TV
Dune, that's right.
You
Dune.
filmed this in
I went
Scotland or
to
somewhere?
Prague.
Prague.
Before it flooded.
Yeah.
Which I loved Prague.
Everybody says it's a magnificent city.
When you get better,
Yeah.
you have to take a little trip to Prague. When it's dried out, and you're dried out, and your throat's all better, your mucus has stopped running.
hope so.
Go to Prague. It's so user-friendly and so beautiful. It's really great. So I wanted to go to Prague, and this was a great character, you know, lots of hair acting, put Sean Penn to shame, and lots of, you know, really evil. I worked with crows and roaches and owls and